This is the most powerful identity shifting technique that I have ever learned, and it comes in two parts. One, radical acceptance, and then two, radical responsibility. First one's first. Radical acceptance means that every single thing that has ever happened in your life in the past that you are still suffering from, that you are still holding pain from, that you are still holding grief or shame from, you have to learn to accept it. But acceptance does not mean that you tolerate it. Acceptance just means that it happened. I acknowledge that it happened. I'm not trying to change the past and what happened because I can't, because the past doesn't exist, right? And I'm also not trying to change others or make others feel bad for something like a trauma that they haven't even caused me, right? Sometimes we take our pain from our relationships or our past and we project it on to the people that we are with currently, even if they are not the ones who caused us that pain initially. So once you're able to take that radical acceptance into your life, understanding that just because I accept that this has happened to me doesn't mean that I continue to tolerate it, doesn't invalidate my feelings, doesn't invalidate that I don't want this to happen to me again, you are then able to come at life through a more narrow point of neutrality. From there, take radical responsibility. What are the different aspects in your life that you know need to change? And if you're like, well, I feel like I've been doing everything. I feel like I've been working on myself. I've taken all the classes. I've dealt with all the mentors. I've invested in all the programs, but something is still not clicking yet. It's probably because you haven't taken radical responsibility in the ways that matter most when it comes specifically to your next level self. So something that you can do is ask yourself, what would my higher self do in this moment? Or what would my next level version of me do in this moment? That way you can start to shift your identity by constantly focusing in on, okay, who is that person that I am looking to become that wouldn't even deal with this experience the way that I naturally or normally would? So if I naturally and normally would experience or react to an experience that was negative as shouting or being huffy and fuffy or giving the silent treatment or not communicating my needs properly or not setting boundaries appropriately, how can I then modify how I'm reacting in these moments, or how can I premeditate how I would react or respond in a certain moment as the person that I know I was born to become? And that way you can start to take the energy from that next level version of who you are becoming and then plug and chug that into the present moment. Just like you have a connection to all of the former versions of who you used to be, you have just as strong as a connection to all the versions of you that are yet to come. But since you have that connection, how about we stop driving the vehicle of our life only looking through the rearview mirror, only looking to our past selves as evidence, as proof, as references, and start looking a little bit beyond, a little bit further. Try to tap into, okay, well, once I'm at that destination, how would I then conduct myself? How would I hold myself? How would I treat myself? How would I talk to myself? How would I treat and talk to others? And that is when you start to use radical acceptance and radical responsibility to shift your identity and watch those timelines begin to collapse.